Ask the guy sitting next to you how long you've been working. Still trying to struggle to pay that mortgage. Still trying to make ends meet. I'm telling you something. If you don't capture your gift, you'll be trapped in a job. And if you're trapped in your job, I guarantee your retirement will not help you survive. I tell you, friends, people will look for you based on your gift, not your looks. Matter of fact, here's a challenge. I want to challenge you to never confuse your work with your job again. I put it to you, your job is what you were trained to do, but your work is what you were born to do. What you were born to do is your seed of greatness. Therefore, your work is what you were born to do, and your job is just your career, but your work is your assignment. Your career, you'll retire from it. Your job is a skill, but your work is a gift. There's a difference. So don't get attached to your job nor your title. And if you find your value in your title, you are in trouble.
Learn to work primarily on yourself.
Okay, so you might have lost your business. That's no problem. There are probably some greater businesses ahead of you. Maybe you lost some clients. No problem. There's some clients on the way that can triple your income. Don't ever allow the past phases to interfere with the future phases.
It's not what happens that determines the quality or the quantity of your life. It's not what happens. And the reason is because what happens to about everybody. No different. The sun went down on all of us last night. A common event, a happening. And I found out that the same things can happen to two different people. One gets rich and one stays poor. Why is that? It's because it's not what happens, but rather it's what you do that changes everything. So that's a key phrase. It's not what happens, it's what you do. Everything can happen, anything can happen. But it's not the happenings, it's what you do about it. Somebody says, yeah, but you don't understand the disappointments I've had. Come on. Everybody's had their share. Disappointments are not special gifts reserved for the poor. Everybody has them. The difference is what you do about them. It's not the weather. I used to blame the weather, and I discovered it rains on the rich. So see, that won't help. Two men wake up one morning, there's a rainstorm on. One of them looks out his window, sees the rainstorm, and he says, wow, what a storm. With weather like this, they can't expect you to go out and make sales. He stays home. Same morning, the other guy looks out his window, sees the same storm, says, wow, what a storm. But he says, you know what, with weather like this, what a great day to go out and make sales. Most everybody will probably be home. See, that's the difference in how your life works out. It's not what happens, it's what you do.
Whatever you're going through right now, I guarantee will not last. That includes the bad times and the good times.
We find what we are looking for.
I hope everyone get a copy of this CD and listen to it every month for the whole 12 months. Why? Because this will remind you that you should never allow anybody's awards to stop from going towards your reward. You came here loaded, but it's trapped power. It's untapped refinedness. It's hidden value. Therefore, you got to keep on upgrading yourself. Don't wait for people to send you to school. I spend over $300 a month on books. Why? Because I have to keep refining my gift, and the more I feed my gift, the higher my value, and therefore the greater the harvest in my life. What are you going to spend your money on this year? More food? You got a choice. Go to fish fry or go to a bookstore. And there's a big choice between the two. Knowledge and grease. What are you going to do? It's so simple.
There's a better way.
Early in my life, I developed this belief that life is calling not to give me something. Life is calling for me to deliver things, for me to bring something to life. And I felt the joy that came from not getting but giving. And I got hooked on that core pattern, and then the pattern of learning so I'd have something to give. Stop the pattern. We've all done it. Catch yourself. Because if you want joy, happiness, and freedom in an extraordinary life, it will not come from blame. Never. There's no pride that comes from blame. Self-esteem does not come from what people say about you. Self-esteem comes from what you experience about yourself.
Now, some people lead such mediocre lives, at the end of the day, they don't know whether they're winning or losing. They got no clue. Guy's just going through the day with his fingers crossed.
I want to recommend something to you. Watch your past, please. It's dangerous. You are about to say goodbye to a past. Please let it go. The past is a portion of your future. It is not your future. I put it another way. The past is dead except for the life you give it. You can keep resurrecting the past and not let it die. People who hurt you, things that didn't work, goals you didn't achieve, places that you didn't go to, people who didn't treat you right. Your past is as alive as the life you give it. I put it another way. You cannot go to your future if you live in your past. And therefore, you cannot change the past, but you could plan your future. This is the moment in time when most people are thinking about, what am I going to do? This is a great night to be here. I'm going to give you some good advice. The future gives hope to the past. That's why I only use the past for educational reference. It is never my habitation. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody fails. Everybody falls. Everybody somehow doesn't seem to achieve everything. But you don't live in that. Learn how to let the past go, because the past can become a weight. Your humble beginnings qualifies you for a great ending. In other words, if they knew how great you were, they'd take you for lunch tomorrow. You just seem like you ain't nobody right now. Look at that word, seem. You seem like you ain't got nothing. Let me tell you something. You ain't got friends until you get plenty, you know. People don't look and seek out poor people. When they think you got money, they won't be your friend right away. You never know who you're talking to. My father had no idea that my books would be in 88 countries. I tell you, friends, your beginnings seem to be humble. You ain't always going to be doing what you're doing. You ain't going to die where you're living now.